Tonight, while you sleep, your body will send you 4 signals that reveal exactly what's going wrong inside your health. Most people miss them completely. By the end of this video, you'll know how to read those signals and fix the root problem before it shows up as a diagnosis. Most people treat sleep as a switch. You're either asleep or you're not. But your sleep hours aren't just rest. They're a blood test written in brain waves and heartbeats. And tonight, while you sleep, your body is going to reveal something about your health you've probably never checked. Miss that signal and you could be sleeping through the earliest warning of a breakdown. So by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to read what your sleep hours are screaming at you. We're going to decode the 4 main ways your sleep exposes hidden health problems, starting with the most obvious one that everyone gets wrong. The danger? Ignoring these patterns won't just make you tired, it can silently deepen conditions like insulin resistance, heart disease, and brain fog until they become irreversible. Imagine knowing that one weird sleep habit you thought was normal is actually your body begging for help. That's what you'll leave with today. Your sleep is a diagnostic report, and just like a blood test, if you don't know how to read the numbers, you'll never know what's wrong. Let's start with the simplest number, how many hours you actually sleep. Most people already know short sleep is bad, but what they don't know is that sleeping too long can be an equally dangerous red flag, and for completely different reasons. We'll walk through the life-shortening risks at both extremes, and what each pattern exposes about your brain and heart. If you consistently sleep less than 6 hours, you're not just accumulating fatigue, you're actively shrinking brain regions tied to memory and raising your cortisol and blood pressure to levels that look like chronic stress. On the flip side, if you routinely sleep more than 9 hours and still wake up unrefreshed, it's often a sign of hidden inflammation, autoimmune activity, or severe depression, not a restful night. The tragedy is that both groups often think they're just short sleepers or long sleepers as a personality trait, when it's really their body screaming for an intervention. So the first vital sign is this: a healthy adult should consistently fall between 7 and 8.5 hours of actual sleep, not time in bed, actual sleep. Outside that window in either direction, and your body is telling you something specific is under strain. Now, even if your total hours look fine, when you sleep matters just as much as how much. Your bedtime isn't just a lifestyle choice, it's a direct readout of your metabolic and hormonal alignment, and forcing yourself into the wrong sleep window can create a health crisis you can't see. We're going to separate normal chronotypes from red flag bedtimes and show why night owls are at a shocking metabolic disadvantage. Here's the brutal data. People who consistently go to bed after midnight, even if they get 8 hours, have significantly higher rates of insulin resistance, diabetes, and heart disease. Why? Because key hormones like growth hormone and leptin are released on a strict circadian clock. When you sleep out of sync with that clock, those hormones misfire. You digest food differently, your blood sugar stays elevated, and your mood destabilizes. And here's the worst part. Many night owls think they're just productive at night, when in reality their body is stuck in a hormonal state of emergency. This isn't about judging night sleepers, it's about recognizing when your chronotype is a preference and when it's a symptom of a broken internal clock that's costing you years of healthy life. So here's the second vital sign. Consistently falling asleep after midnight, especially if it's paired with difficulty waking, is a major red flag for metabolic misalignment. It means your internal master clock has separated from your environment, and your body is paying for it right now. But there's a third sleep sign even more dangerous than total hours or bedtime, and almost nobody tracks it. It's called sleep consistency, or the difference between your weekday and weekend sleep, and that gap is now considered one of the strongest predictors of early death. We'll look at what happens inside your arteries and brain when you constantly shift your sleep window by more than an hour. This phenomenon, social jet lag, triggers the same inflammatory response as actual jet lag, but chronically. Every time you shift your sleep window by 90 minutes or more, you disrupt your body's ability to regulate blood pressure, cortisol, and immune cells. Over months, your arteries stiffen, your white blood cells overreact, and your risk of heart attack, stroke, and even Alzheimer's climbs sharply. And the real tragedy is that most people think catching up on sleep on weekends is healthy, when it's actually the irregularity itself causing silent damage. The fear here is real. You could be doing everything else right, and this single habit, completely under your control, is slowly undoing your health from the inside. So, vital sign 3 is consistency. The most protective sleep pattern is going to bed and waking up within the same 60-minute window every single day, including weekends. If your weekend sleep shifts by 2 hours or more, your body is experiencing chronic jet lag and your inflammation levels reflect it. Now, there's one specific sleep hour phenomenon that terrifies people more than any other. Waking up almost exactly at 3 or 4 a.m., wide awake, heart pounding, mind racing. Most people think it's anxiety, but it's actually your blood sugar and stress hormones screaming in a language you've never been taught. We'll trace exactly what's happening inside your liver, adrenals, and brain at that precise hour, and why it's often a direct warning sign of insulin resistance. Around 3 a.m., your body naturally reaches its lowest point of blood sugar and body temperature. If your blood sugar regulation is healthy, you sleep right through it. But if you're insulin resistant, even mildly, your blood sugar can crash too low and your brain hits the emergency button. It releases a surge of cortisol and adrenaline to force your liver to dump glucose. That hormonal jolt is what jolts you awake with a pounding heart. Most doctors call this anxiety and prescribe sleep medication, which completely misses the metabolic route. The condition worsens silently, and you're left thinking you're losing your mind. Knowing this is profoundly relieving, that it's not all in your head. It's a measurable, fixable bodily signal. So the 3 a.m. wake up, especially with a racing heart, is very often not a mental health crisis. It's a blood sugar regulation crisis. It is your body's way of telling you your insulin and cortisol systems are struggling, and you need to address your diet and circadian rhythm, not your willpower. So now you have all 4 vital signs, and if you've been nodding along, you might have already spotted the exact pattern your own sleep is showing you. But knowing isn't enough. You need a decoder, a simple plan that fixes the root cause, not just the symptom. So let's build it. We're going to assemble a targeted action plan for each of the 4 sleep vital signs so you can start tonight. If you walk away with the knowledge but no system, your sleep will stay broken. And sleep is not a standalone issue. Every night of poor sleep is a night your brain can't clean itself, your heart can't repair, and your hormones can't rebalance. The damage accumulates silently. And the worst part is, the solution is simple once you see it. This is the moment everything clicks. The confusion lifts. You realize your sleep has been trying to guide you all along, and now you can finally listen. Here's your grand payoff decoder. Total hours, commit to a hard 7 to 8.5 hour window of actual sleep, and if you can't get there, see a doctor. This is non-negotiable. Bedtime, no consistent post-midnight sleep unless you've been genetically tested as a true night owl. Otherwise, shift bedtime forward by 15 minutes each night until you hit a pre-midnight target. Consistency, set a wake-up time you can maintain 7 days a week and protect that one ritual above all else. And for 3 a.m. waking, do not reach for sleeping pills. Instead, cut all added sugar and refined carbs for 2 weeks, eat a protein-rich bedtime snack, and watch that awakening disappear. Your sleep is a health report. Now you can read it and fix it. Now, we've talked about how your sleep hours expose hidden health problems, but your body is constantly sending you other signals when you're awake that most people have been told to ignore or worry about, when in fact they're completely healthy. Things you assumed were red flags are actually green lights in disguise. So check out this video right here where we show you the weird body signs nobody told you were actually signs of good health and give you the peace of mind you've been missing. Tap that now.